don't see myself.
Then
Anyways.
it's good. You can see yourself there.
Yes. Should be fine. It's not very often we get together to talk like this. We're always on tour.
Run, do things.
Run, do this, do that, do this, do that.
Warm up, and then when you have days off, you want just to do your thing or.
Party time, excellent.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's a lot of people ask me questions about this album, and a lot of those questions I'm like, you should ask that Vidic. You should ask Vidic.
Yeah.
Because I definitely have some questions that I wasn't there, and I don't know for sure what it came from. Because
it would be the best if we could do this video with all the band, but this will never happen. So we have to. Do this, and then maybe with the whole band we will do something else. Maybe.
I mean, it's been a while. We waited for a good opportunity. This album came out February 9th, 2024.
Yes.
And it's been already some months. People had the opportunity to listen to it. And I think now that some time has passed and people are familiar with the songs, it's gonna make more sense that we're talking about it and that we explain, hopefully, like, quite detailed about each song.
Yeah, it's actually good that we're doing this a little bit later, so everybody knows the songs.
Yeah.
And we can like talk about every song and
I agree.
What it means for you, lyric-wise.
Yeah, yeah.
How
this will be fun. I think you should. Everybody wants to know one thing because they ask me a lot. The name and the artwork comes from you for the album. So when people ask me about what was behind the decision of calling it this way or having this specific artwork, I know what you shared with us, of course, and I remember you talking to me about it when there was multiple options. But it would be cool if you just share it, like how you thought about it, and because I'm sure people want to know that.
Yeah, I was into this time subject for a while, and I was checking how, I was just curious on the physical level, what is time, and that it actually doesn't exist. It's just our way of interpret the reality and on a deeper meaning. And because this subject is everywhere, and we use this word all the time.
Yeah, all the time.
So, yeah, so time is the most used subject word in English, and I was thinking it covers everything, and it would be nice to make kind of conceptual album,
which we never did before.
Yeah.
Ever. So
to have this line of time subject going through all the songs, and when I came up with this idea, I think everybody liked it.
Yeah, I liked it right away. I remember you gave me a short list of a couple of words when you already started thinking about the title for the album. I remember you even saying, hey guys, we need to think about title of an album. Maybe there are some cool words that you can think about, or maybe there's like some certain meanings that you have that we can work around. And I remember thinking about it and thinking about how important a name is in the end of the day. It's such a simple concept. It's just a name of a person, a name of a book, a name of an album, a name of a movie. It's just a name. But in the end of the day, it's one of the most important things.
Yes and no, because
yes
for
me,
exactly, yeah. I know, like, I have so many albums that I love, and I have no idea how they are called. I remember the picture, and mostly the color of the picture. I don't even know what is on the picture sometimes.
You mean of other bands?
Other bands, yes. Yeah. So for me, it's also like, it's important, of course, and it's cool that we could keep it short. Yeah. It's only 4 letters, 1 word, and very easy word. And
I think that's the first thing I thought when you shared that. That was the first thought I have, the simplicity of this word, how simple it is, and how the concept behind this simple word is endless. Yeah. So I remember liking it immediately. But I like your ideas very often when it comes to especially names of the albums, and like you have an eye sometimes for those words.
Yeah, yes. But we always, like, I ask everybody, okay, can everybody think about the name of the album and the concept?
Of
Maybe
course.
somebody will come up sooner, you know. And
Yeah.
I always write down all the names for the albums.
Yeah,
and,
yeah, yeah. He gets passionate about these things, and in fact, interesting fact about Infected Rain's albums is, I believe I named 2 albums. I named Asylum because we wanted to call the band that way, and then we decided to keep it for the first album, and then 86.
Yeah.
That's it. And
Yeah.
everything else came from you. All the other names of the albums came from you, all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also fun fact that from out of 6 albums, 4 start with E.
Yeah, that was not on purpose.
Yeah. I wanted to keep this a little bit
Yeah.
longer, but then Time was such a good name
Yeah.
that fuck it.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah.
Well,
It actually came, this idea of the name of the album came right away with the artwork subject.
yeah.
We were like right away thinking about the sand, because sand kind of represents a little bit of time.
yeah, because of the for a very long time, it was the only way to measure time in the past with the hourglasses. They
Yeah,
are called.
exactly.
Yeah, and they still exist, but people just don't use them for those purposes anymore.
Also, kind of sand reflects the how everything can be destroyed and become sand.
Yeah.
Like in the deserts, the rock becomes sand. And
Yeah.
yeah, I think it fits very well.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I liked it. It was quite an accident for us to keep it all in the same theme of Never to Return, which is a song from the album. We didn't plan that right away. But then slowly it was just going that direction. And
No, I think I already had a few arts that
Okay.
we were like thinking. We had this like different skeleton, half decayed.
Yeah.
Yeah, and with this sand flying around. So I was thinking like, yeah, we have to do this.
something similar.
Yeah, and to keep this. Yeah, we will come back to the songs and
I mean,
the singles.
I mean, this is what we kept for a part of the art of the album, which is this photo was taken during the music video "Never to Return," which we will talk a little bit more about it. It's song number 3 on the album, but
yeah, let's start with the songs.
oh yeah, you wanna start?
Okay, first song, Because I Let You.
Yeah, tell us about it.
You tell us.
Well, musically, that's another thing. Musically, I think that a lot of people are curious to know, because we work separately, and then eventually when we have some ideas, even if they are very raw, we start putting them together. This is the process of composing and writing that we have in Infected Rain. Other bands do it probably differently, I don't know. But I still feel like music comes first, because even though I write separately, I don't know what lyrics will go to that song, to which song, until I get the song and I'm like, this makes me feel this kind of emotions.
Yeah, but in this particular song, I think I asked you to get the most emotional lyrics that you have for this one, because I already felt that
The song will be
only
Okay.
music-wise it gives you goosebumps, and I was very happy with the song, and I wanted to add another layer of feelings to this. So I asked you, can you put your most intense for you emotional lyrics on this
Yeah,
song?
I remember that. I remember that part, but I don't remember if that was before
Sometimes
yeah.
Sometimes when we have these pre-production songs without lyrics, without melody, vocal melody, of course I listen to them all the time, and I already have certain view that this could be a little bit lighter subject that shouldn't be that crazy emotional.
Yes, I like to
know.
get the input from
Yeah,
you.
but
very
anyway, I always
much.
say like, but you do whatever you want.
Yeah,
but
yeah. The
this
input
what-
is actually helpful, because when I compose lyrics, I often compose them completely separate from any specific time of the year where it is like, okay, guys, we need a new album. So writing those ideas down in completely different times of the year, sometimes when like it's been a while, you don't know really. It's very emotional song, but a lot of Infected Rain songs are very emotional. So in order to keep a little bit of, I think in my opinion it's also respect towards the composer of the instruments, in my opinion. I really want whoever composed the song to be happy with at least the emotion I'm bringing, because I understand how different the song sounds when you hear it with vocals for the first time. After hearing it 10 times without, for example, you're like probably get a shock. You're like, no, my song. But
yeah, in this case it was different because this so music wise I had two different parts of the songs, of the like ideas that I had for a while, and then I had this and that, and I'm like, oh, the speed is the same, can I put them together and see if it works? And this is why it actually sounds like this. The first part of the song is very fast, intense Infected Rain song, and then there is this drop and it comes to another emotion.
Yeah, it could feel like two different songs. It could feel like that.
But I really like it, and for me it was very nice contrast, and I wanted to keep this contrast in the song. It actually also changes the tuning of the guitar, because first part is recorded on 7-string and the end of the song on 8-string guitar. Live,
I didn't know that.
Live I do some tricks to play on the same guitar the whole song, but it was recorded on different guitars because it's very different.
Nice. That's really cool. Well, you should tell them about how you felt and what was your first how was your first reaction when you got the song back with vocals? Because I remember this song specifically. I remember your reaction.
Normally Lena would send the project with the her ideas already on tracks. I would open at home and I can see what was the idea, maybe tweak a little bit some notes and switch parts if I feel it like this. So maybe it has some better kind of feeling if I move one part to another part of the song. And but we always talk, experiment. Sometimes we argue about different things.
Yeah, sometimes it stays exactly how I envisioned it immediately. But I tried to be honest about it as well. When I send the tracks, I always tell you I'm not 100% sure, or for the chorus, I am so in love with the chorus, and I don't mind changing other parts if you feel like changing it at all. Or I would say, you know what, this song, I had difficulties, for example, composing for this. Maybe if you have ideas, I'm open. Like, we try to work. Me and Vidik, we know each other for a very long time now. So we developed some sort of confidence and some sort of level of communication that is very easy and transparent with each other. And I really fully trust the musical experience that Vidik has and the musical knowledge that Vidik has.
I have to say it's also with Eugene as well, with Jenny, because we work for so long together, and I always curious about opinions of Jenny's opinion or your opinion. It matters for me, and I need to know, and for me, his opinion matters a lot.
Of course.
But yeah, we have a lot of fights with Jenny about the songs, and like, no, I want to keep it like this. I will keep it on my ringtone like this, but you do whatever you want. Or
Jenny is funny like that.
Like, no, we need, or speed of the song. We can like.
Was example, that was for a previous album?
No,
we had?
this
one?
Game of Blame was like no, we need to make it faster. No, we need to keep it as it was, because
Oh,
if
yeah,
you composed it
remember.
with this feeling, emotion, then you have to keep this. And I'm like, dude, no, it should be faster. Yeah, it was a long discussion.
Yeah, interesting. That we will arrive to that song. That's
so
very special.
regarding Because I Let You, I remember when I moved a little bit the parts, singing
You did.
parts, and so there was this drop, and this part where you sing "Cut Me Open and See," and then it develops, and then it starts with screams, and then it grows, and you already feel like, wow, it has so many emotion, and it changes the melody again, which evolves even better.
Yeah.
And Zhenya made a really great synth on the background that it wasn't there, and it gave this perfect touch to everything. And when I put everything together, and I was like, oh my God, I'm the only person on the planet that heard it for now. And I was listening again and again and again to this pre-production, and I had goosebumps. I have now on talking about this. I was walking in the room and like, wow, this song is really good. I'm really happy with this song.
Yeah, I remember the phone call you gave me after the song, and you said, how did you record that? I can barely work with it emotionally.
Yeah.
He said,
it was like this. I was walking
really
in the room like, oh my God.
I remember you saying,
powerful.
are you gonna be able to like when we record it, like actually, that final recording, are you gonna be able to do the same, because we need the same emotion?
Or also, how are you gonna play this live?
Yeah.
Because
that we thought about it a little later after I recorded it. Actually, in the end, I think that's when we were like,
because from show to show it's different. Now we know because we played it already on tours and everything.
Then we didn't know, and
from show to show it's different. Sometimes we have to wait like 2 minutes and before we start another song, because you have to get your shit together.
Yeah. Yes. Anything else you want to add about Because I Let You?
It has a music video.
Yes, Because I Let You is one of the singles of this album, if we want to call it that way. The music video was quite challenging. Are we gonna get
maybe we can
in a few details about it, just where it was filmed and the challenge that I had? Oh my God. Okay, so you should I think start by the idea.
Yeah, the idea was pretty easy, because there is a main line for me. It's cut me open and see the raw version of me.
Yeah.
And what can be better than direct interpretation of this with actual cut body, with guts out. And I had this vision. I didn't know how to put it together. There were some ideas to make you like standing and holding your guts and singing in the camera, or maybe on the stage, or like theatrical stage, or something like this. We had a couple of ideas, and then we ended up, so we were talking a lot with the guy that is filming all the videos.
The crew, the filming crew that we always hire.
Ditkov, he, in my opinion, one of the best camera guys out there, not only in Moldova. He's so good.
Great. He really
he
is.
has this vision. He understands how to do it, and I always rely on his opinion on all these things. When I told him the idea, he's like, "Yeah, let's make like very authentic morgue setup or something." And he had these connections with this morgue, and it's actually a morgue in a mental hospital.
In Moldova, in Chisinau, the capital of Moldova.
Yeah, we used to film around this outside the music video for Longing, and then now we had to again talk with them and ask for the permission to film in this morgue. It's a very small morgue because it's only for the patients from there, and they don't die every day, so it's actually empty. Quite empty, very rarely used. Yeah, but many dead bodies who went through this. Yeah. And all the equipment is super ex-USSR. Yeah, it's like a horror stuff. Remember there was this piece of wood with the like this,
The
and
neck.
it was the place for the neck. So they like put it under the neck, and it has some hair in it.
And different, like, some leftovers of something
And
there.
we're like, oh my god, this.
Everything around there was quite sketchy to touch,
It's
to
like
be
the
honest.
whole energy there felt like,
Yeah.
oh my god. Even
Yeah.
it was even for me a little bit a lot.
Yeah, and he is normally not that like
sensitive to these
Yeah.
things. And we, for example, there were a few rooms where we were talking like who will be where of the musicians, and we were talking with Alice and like, do you want to film here, or there is actually this fridge
Yeah.
for the bodies. And she didn't feel actually all
No,
right
she didn't
in this
feel
place.
good.
And like, okay, you film here next
Yeah.
to these shelves, and I will go to this fridge. And this fridge, like, literally a horror movie
Yeah.
setup.
Yeah.
With
But
these
it was
beds. Or
yeah,
how it's called.
it was quite interesting to make it short. The energy was wrong. We had to be very careful with everything we touched, just in case not to scratch ourselves or anything, because they didn't clean it up for us. We didn't need them to clean it up for us because it had to look quite horrifying. And the fact that that was a real place,
We didn't need to do anything because it looked already.
it wasn't. Those were not props.
Yeah.
I was laying with my naked body on a basically
Table?
No, it's like a ceramic type of table, for mortuary table. I was laying on it for more than 5 hours, so my special effect makeup on my belly looks as real as possible. The prop was prepared in advance. We saw everything. It was made from scratch by this special effect makeup artist from
Svetlana, she's really
she's
talented.
really talented.
Moldavian.
Yeah, she did our makeup also for Never to Return and other projects of yours.
Yes,
she's great.
she's
She works
really
in the
good.
theater, so she gets practice all the time. She is good with latex, and she built all the prop for my belly, and she had to basically put it on, blend it with my skin, and obviously color it and make it look as real as possible. For that, we needed more than 5 hours. Meanwhile, the band was filmed in other rooms. I was alone in this room with a makeup artist. Now, the makeup artist was mainly facing my belly, and sometimes, would talk to me, lift her head up to talk to me. I was laying the other way, facing either her when I talked to her or the wall in front of me. Now, the wall in front of me, unfortunately, had a quartz lamp turned on during the entire time I was laying there and after during the filming. Now, we found out later about this, but a quartz lamp is actually used in a lot of Eastern European medical facilities in order to disinfect the air and the microbes that are hardly killed just with wiping the room. So it is common to find it in different kind of medical facilities. For this reason, and my mom is a nurse, so she told me all about it. And apparently it's very dangerous to be in a room with one of these lamps on. The damage that it can do to your eyes is higher than the tanning lamps in the tanning salon. So insanely dangerous, especially for such a long amount of time. But it wasn't until the end of the night, filming night, when I was taking my makeup off, showering, that I felt that I have pain in my eyes. For some reason, my eyes wouldn't stop watering and getting more and more exponentially. The more time passed, the more I would feel the burn and the discomfort. Now, in a certain time of the night, I remember not being able to see anything anymore, and my nose was runny, my eyes were runny. I contacted the makeup artist just to find out if any of her products were dangerous. Maybe I touched it and I touched my eye, or maybe I developed some sort of allergies. I'm not an allergic person at all. We didn't know what to do until finally, I think you looked it up, right? I think you.
Yeah.
I think you came by. It was already 2 a.m. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't at all.
The problem, of course, the problem is that she had this horrible pain.
We couldn't find
but
out what to
also
do.
we had another issue because we had to film another 2 music videos in one day, the day after.
Yeah, right next day after. So I needed a good rest, so I look fresh, right?
I think we had 1 day off between the videos. Or
No, we didn't. We didn't. I couldn't couldn't go to the eye doctor. Remember?
So it was the next day.
Yeah, I went to the eye doctor next day after, you know.
Yeah.
This.
We were filming Lighthouse the next day,
Yeah.
and Pandemonium which
Yeah.
is not released at this point when we
Yeah.
record this.
And so, but the worst part was we didn't know what caused it. It was quite horrible. I have pictures. Maybe you'll put a picture in this video.
This eyes.
My eyelids are so swollen and red, and that picture was taken the next day, and I had to do makeup and look decent with that face. So please, next time you watch, especially Lighthouse, remember that photo.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm laughing about it right now, but I have a permanent damage. I am light sensitive because of that, but I got very lucky. Somehow, I think that facility doesn't change the lamps as often, and
It's not that as strong.
they weren't that strong because the eye doctor told me that even 15 minutes of exposure on quartz lamp bring to very serious eye damage, and the amount of time that I spent there, I would have been blind completely. So that's that. And that's because I let you. What is next one?
You have it here.
Yeah, but
so
I don't know what's it go. It goes like
That's the
that.
same,
Okay,
yeah.
it goes like that. So I think "Dying Light," our very first single.
Yeah. Yeah, this
Dying
song
Light.
I actually first I record when I composed it. It was in 7-string guitar, 2.5 steps higher, and I wasn't sure at all if it's gonna be Infected Rain or anything because I wasn't sure in the song. Sometimes I don't feel it right away.
Yeah.
And when I sent it to our chat, you and Jenny were like, no, of course, this is the song. Actually, we will make it the first single. Like,
Yeah.
really? Then let's do it.
Yeah, it was great. Right away, when I remember when listening to it, before I even had any idea what vocals will go there and what the song will be about, I remember thinking, oh, this is so like dark, and
Moody.
I need that darkness to be preserved. And that's the only thing that I kept in mind the entire time I was composing the vocal melody and, you know, applying the words to this song.
Yeah.
To
And it has
maintain the darkness.
this synth on the background that goes through the whole song. And this was, for me, like, we can delete this scene because I don't know, I'm not sure. But then Eugen was, no, this is the most beautiful thing that makes this song unique and special. It gives this vibe of 80s a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's very heavy. And when we switched it to 8-string guitar in E, it became even heavier and crazy. I love this song and I really love to play it live. I'm happy when it comes to this on the set list.
Absolutely, absolutely. I don't know why, but that song somehow, I mean, I understand why, like physically, but I don't know why emotionally that song is absolutely important for me because it's the beginning of the new Infected Rain era. We started with this song, so it will always have a big meaning for me. You know,
yes, it's when we introduced Alice as well.
Correct. This was the very first music video. We released it in May 2023. And with the song, we introduced our new bass player, Alice. Alice Pandini.
Yes.
She definitely added something new to us visually at the time because for now it was only the visuals that were new. Alice did not take part of the composing process of this album for now because we were still in the process of composing while looking for bass players and kind of all together. So, but with her presence, with her movements, with her energy.
But she recorded bass on the album, so.
Of course, she recorded her instrument. But that song, I couldn't really be with the band, and I had the challenge to film my part separately.
Yeah.
from the band completely, and it had to look like it's quite that we are together, even though we are not together in the music video.
Yeah, I always wanted to use projector because you can do creative things with projector. It has so many ways of creative visual to create some really nice and creative visuals, and it has so many ways that you can do many music videos. And I wanted to use one aspect of this because we could film us three without Lena in Chisinau, so we could rent a really big, expensive projector and project on us different kind of clocks, because I wanted to keep clocks, like every musician would have his own clock. So Eugene would have this digital
Numbers, yeah.
clock, Alice would have hourglass.
I think she had hourglass.
Yeah, I had this also like digital white circle
with
clock.
arrows, yeah, the classic.
And you had
An actual
real
big
clock on the background.
Yeah, that's where the idea for the T-shirt design for Dying Light came by as
Yeah,
well.
like you are inside of this building, like
yeah, like a tower,
yeah,
clock tower.
and it also fits very well with the time subject.
Yeah, it was really nice that we had this location, and actually you reminded me about it.
Yeah, that you had this photo shoot and a short reel video. And
Yeah,
I was like, that
long
fits very
ago.
well. Maybe you can.
Talk to the same
Yeah.
place. I remember you bringing it up, and then I had to talk to the owner of this photo studio about it, and they had that cage there. That
Yeah,
was that
also super
cage
cool.
so cool. It almost like we are trapped in our beliefs about time, but really
Yeah, it fits very well.
fits perfect.
Yeah.
I loved it too. Yeah, and I did that cool hair. I wanted almost to be like a darker version of myself from like a different dimension, maybe like a parallel reality of a darker me. I somehow wanted to look a little bit different than in any music video. In fact, for this music video, for the first time, I changed my hair in a while, because I always have, give or take, the same hair, because with dreadlocks, you don't have many options, And yeah, I remember when we were posting it, everybody was curious about what happened with my hair, if I dyed my hair black or what happened.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah, but it's a really nice video in the end, and we had a really hard time to understand who will film you here, because sometimes you can hire somebody that is like filmmaker, but he would do worse job than a friend. That
Oh
would
yeah, and I've had that
explain.
experience even with Death Dealer Union, unfortunately, with a project I've been part of.
Yeah.
And I've had this bad experience even for my own projects, and until I had to learn to do it myself from my YouTube channel. I had to learn to do it with help of like close people around me. In fact, I want to give a big thank you and big shout out to my good friend Naira. She actually filmed many music videos for me, but the first one for Infected Rain. She filmed my parts, following instructions of Vidic, because she's not a filmmaker.
I created PDF with the.
That was the fun
video,
part.
And all the numbers that you need to film. Some like 2 takes of this, 2 takes of this, 2 takes of this.
Change
light here,
yeah.
Everything. All like, please follow the instructions.
So detailed. It was so easy to just do whatever.
It's like a checkbox, like
done. Yes, and she did such an amazing job. She filmed music videos for songs I was part of with Seas on the Moon as well in the past, and
also the song Free.
The song
from
Free
Denise.
is filmed by her. Absolutely, you can find it on Napalm Records, because even Napalm was very interested in that song. I think it's a great song. But yeah, thank you so much to all our friends that help us. It might look like nothing to you, but it's everything to us, and she was great. She was so great at it.
Yeah.
She was very nervous, but she did a great job.
I also texted her like, hey, you did such a great job.
Yeah.
Really no, it's nice footage.
Everything, even the movements, and
Yeah.
because he's like, don't
The
be
only
afraid.
thing that was a little bit so it's the flickering, because
Oh, and
shutter speed and
that was
the
not
light,
her fault though.
it was flickering. She should adjust one setting, but she's not
She didn't
professional.
know.
She didn't know.
Yeah.
So I had hard time to find the footage that is not flickering as much.
Basically, the light that was behind that clock was flickering in the image, and that was a very big
Yeah.
problem
And
during
when you
the
change
editing.
shutter speed, it can be like super easy fixed, but with editing, it's
Yeah, we didn't know.
really
We didn't
difficult.
know, and we have different, of course, time between Europe and U.S. and we couldn't really be on the phone, to follow instructions. But I am very proud of that music video. I'm insanely proud of that song, and Dying Light is still one of my favorite songs to play live.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah, Never to Return. We mentioned a couple of things about this song already prior, but there's more to say musically. This
Yeah.
song means a lot to me, and you have to tell them how you composed it.
Yeah, actually, I on one of the American tours, I had some free time. Like normally, I don't have free time,
Yeah.
but this time I had, and I was like, okay, I want to experiment a little bit with iPad to
Fool
maybe-
around, yeah.
Yeah, and there is this garage band that is
Comes with it, I think, yeah.
Yeah. And I already tried to compose some songs on iPhone, actually, with this app, and on iPad is much easier because it's like bigger, but the process of writing music there is very different from the programs I use on laptop or on computer. And I had to learn a little bit, and like learning by doing. And I had this cool part written in a few hours, and I was thinking to keep it for my project ANOTHERKIND because it was very different of all the Infected Rain things. And then in the morning I showed to you, to Simon, Arkady was here as well, and like, what do you think about this? I think it's really cool. And you were like, oh, let's do a song with it. And like, fuck yeah, let's do an Infected Rain song. This is why
Yes.
I'm happy to write for Infected Rain, because we can do anything we want.
Yes, because we are not
It's the best
following. I
part
love
of
it. Yeah.
Yeah, we have songs like Storm, Intoxicating, and like that are really full electronic. No, Intoxicating has some
Has
instrument,
a
but
little bit, yeah.
still it's most electronic. And now it's this weird song, but it didn't have any instruments there. It was only licks, and I was like, fuck, let's just keep this same sounds from iPad. I only replaced the drums because it sounded a little bit cheap, but these weird instruments, like a little bit like folkish.
Yeah, like ethnic. I think
Yeah.
they're called ethnic instruments.
And it's called like pipa or something. It's
Very
from,
unique,
Yeah, but it's from
yeah.
the app, and I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, fuck
Like
it. Let's just-
Eastern kind of.
Yeah.
I remember when you showed me that part. Okay, that was before it became a song. That was before we were even sitting down actually working on an album. It was just during the tour. With like he said, certain sounds might
It had
sound
just basically
cheap.
a verse and
Yeah, but the
chorus.
idea, I had to just basically listen to the idea and have my opinion about it. So he shows me this music, this instrumental part of this like Middle East, very typical type of sounding, unique instruments and sounds in general. I couldn't believe it comes from here from him, to be honest, because I was always a big fan of anything in the music, especially coming from like Middle East, ethnical, unique instruments especially. I always loved it. It could be because of my ethnicity, because I've spent many years in Armenia, and they have unique local instruments, and it could be because of that. I don't know why, but I have a special place in my heart for anything like that. And I've tried before with Infected Rain to add vocally a little bit of that. And it was never the right song, never the right place. You know, it was never the right fit.
Yeah, of course.
Up until now. So when you showed me that, I was like, finally, let's do it, let's go. You know, I was so happy. I was excited. I was excited the most for this song when I was.
And fits the time subject very
exactly
well. And then we came up with this idea with the sand and everything. And I was thinking like where to find this desert, because we had the music video for it. And
we are in Moldova. What to do?
Yeah, let's maybe talk a little bit about music still. So I dropped some ideas for the instruments, like real instruments, so we don't keep it as like only electronic song. I wanted to have it nice live songs and added some breakdowns, and the song started sounding very well. And it was quite fast with the
composing process.
Yeah, composing and also vocals as well.
Yeah, very fast.
We just literally left everything.
Almost everything you left. For me, I didn't know how to start. So when I write lyrics, they are in their previous stage. I call them poems. They are little poems. They are not really lyrics. They don't even have a name. They are just little, either like actual poems or small phrases that I like or want to develop into something bigger. And with this, I actually had a poem, and I only changed a few things, and I adapted it more to be about time, and I didn't have a name. So when I'm composing the vocal parts for any songs that is given to me, I don't necessarily go from the start. I listen to the song many times. I make notes, put markers, and I often start with the chorus because it's just something that is quite important in the song, and I want to spend as much time as needed concentrating on the chorus. But with this song, I didn't do it this way. I was like, how do I start this? And if you notice, I never did this before either. I start with a hum. A mystery, right? I never did this before. I didn't even hear it anywhere else. But I did not know how to start. I didn't know if it has to be very, like gentle or like really harsh. And I was like, I'll give it gentle. And there's nothing more gentle than a hum in a song, because when you hum, you often hum an entire melody. And it's very gentle, right? So I did that on purpose, and I'm so happy that you didn't want to change that part. I was very nervous.
Very good in the very beginning.
I never told you about this, but I was insanely nervous about that part. I thought that you're not gonna like that, like entrance with the hum.
Yeah, I think, and then the next part, it was a little bit different actually, and there we had the problem.
Yeah.
There
but I didn't know. Yeah.
No, we need to change this. So everything was well in.
Which part was that?
And also the ending of the song, because it was like very straight, very much straight. I wanted to break it a little bit rhythmically.
Yeah.
So we kept the same melody, but broke it.
I think that was more to the end. You're right.
Yeah. Also, fun story about this song when we. Released the video. It was on the US tour, and we were already on tour, and most of the songs we never played together as a band. None of them we never played together as a band, 4 of us. So
besides Dying Light, we played Dying Light during the summer.
I mean from the album. And then it comes to release this song, and we had to practice a little bit on the sound checks, and we didn't really have sound checks because of different
technical problems and issues, timing.
Yeah, we also were supporting on this tour, and sometimes you have very little time for sound checks. So we really played like 2 times before on sound checks.
Almost nothing.
Yeah, and then we had to play it live for the first time. Like, let's do it. And there is this breakdown that goes and it's very different through the whole thing. It never repeats, and somehow I could remember. I had my vision how to remember it, but Eugene and Alice, they had a little bit hard time with it, and we printed the
Oh yeah, dude, that's true.
the like
Well, the tops.
yeah, like it's not
Like
it's actually just visually interpreting.
Yeah.
I did a screenshot from MIDI and we just printed it
Yeah.
and sticked it for a few shows.
Yeah.
So Zhenya on the drums
Zhenya and yeah, so
Alice
basically
had on
the rhythm part of the band, they needed to that as a reminder
Yeah.
because it's quite difficult.
Yeah, and when you play it, you see it, and you can see, okay, I played this.
Yeah.
So basically, we would need to stay on these positions. I can't switch with Alice on this part because
Yeah.
she will have
Oh
a
yeah,
hard time.
once I moved there and I was like, why is she behind me? I
Yeah,
forgot. And I was like, Alice, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean, like, why didn't you, like, we normally switch? And she's like, you came in the wrong time.
Normally, we
Yeah,
do
it's
homework and we learn the
Yeah.
songs properly, but this time it was
It
very
was quite
intense
tricky,
and tough.
yeah.
And
When the band does not come from the same city, is tricky. We are not the only band that doesn't live together in the same part of the planet. Somehow it works for everybody. We find a way for us to work. To be fair to Eugene and Alice, I have to write down the first 2 words of every single lyrics of every single songs during the shows. I have to have them. There's my playlist and a reminder of the first 2
lines, it's the first line.
First lines, but to me it's enough even first 2 words, because mentally I'm like, how am I going to remember? How does it start? But actually I barely look there, but I need to have it for my mental like peace of mind.
yeah, many musicians use.
Yeah, there are musicians that have the entire lyrics there. It's no shame in that, guys. I mean,
No, it's okay, of course, even when you have many albums.
especially when you have newer things and you literally go from one tour to another, like, yeah. So anyways,
I was at the Gojira show and he had a teleprompter, how it's called, when you have lyrics actually changing.
Yeah.
It programmed probably with MIDI.
I don't know.
And when you have so many albums and when you, for example, change your set list often,
Yeah.
it's good to have stuff like that.
Of course.
Maybe you even will not use it, but
Yeah. It happens sometimes out of nowhere. I sing on stage during a song and something in the crowd distracts me. Something nice or not nice, it doesn't matter. Something I see. And the next word is like, whatever.
Ryba.
We call it fish. We call it fish. Anyways, all right, Lighthouse. Another one that comes with a music video, actually. A quite unique song for Infected Rain, I would say. Probably one of the more...
Should we talk a little bit about music video as well?
For Never to Return?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah.
Maybe
a little more about it. Yeah, let's
I just
do it.
wanted to mention one thing, because we were thinking it should be with some desert or something. It should represent the album, and have similar visuals. But we don't have any desert in Moldova, and I was talking with Fabi about this, and but you had this photo shoot with the band there. I'm like, fuck yeah, this is the perfect spot.
That's amazing. I should thank her. It was her.
Yeah, of course.
She remembered.
Yeah,
I didn't know.
Like, fuck, it's an amazing place.
Yeah.
An amazing place. And we went there and talked to the people that are working there.
Yeah.
It's basically the place where
I don't know how
they
it's
get this special sand or stone to
for construction.
make some sort of bricks that we have only in our region actually, and they get it there, and this is why it looks like
it's
this
just
white
an area
desert.
of the soil. Basically, nature gave us this area of this specific type of sand and/or stone that is very much needed in construction,
it's like
apparently.
Millions of years ago, Moldova was underwater and there was ocean there, and over the millions of years, it accumulated the shells. And they became this white sand, basically.
Yeah.
So,
really cool.
Yeah, and we're like,
Time never to return.
Yeah, exactly. And it fitted perfectly. And once again, Svetlana did amazing makeup, and it took a while. eventually we will release a making of for this.
Yeah, we did film a making of
Yeah, so
this
we
one at
will
least.
talk more.
We had
detailed
these
about this.
latex prosthetics that were actually made specifically for us, and we had, we tried it on before we did the makeup, so we understand what we need to bring with us. There was a lot of preparation for this makeup, so on the day of filming,
Yeah.
she didn't have to do as much.
It
And she was there.
quite challenging because I
Yeah.
was the first person. I had to come at 5 in the morning or so.
Yeah.
And it took
At
1.5
least-
hours per person, and
Yeah.
we are 4. It's
4 of us,
It's,
yeah.
In the end, it's 6 hours
Yep.
before shooting.
Before shooting, and she was on a shooting day
Yeah.
with us there the
Because
entire
to
time
fix here and there,
just
because
in
we
case.
didn't know how it will react when you headbang
And even though I have knowledge for makeup, a little bit for special makeup, but I don't have the tools, the products, and I don't have the knowledge she has. So I didn't even dare to touch it, to try to help. I didn't even dare. So Svetlana did a great job.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lighthouse. Another one that actually comes with a music video. I would say it's probably the most light song, maybe.
Alongside with
Game of Blame and Lighthouse are like the more like
Yeah. Because in general, I
Softer
wanted to
songs.
keep this album very different. I mean, inside of the album. So I wanted to have very heavy songs and very light songs. So maybe to target different audiences, but still to keep it Infected Rain. And for us, it's very important to have this mood and deliver the emotions we want, no matter what style we choose for the song.
Yeah.
So Lighthouse is one of the songs that is a little bit unusual for us, but it's still heavy at some parts. But you can talk maybe a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, what I can say about this, hey, we have a guest, special guest. Hello. What I can say about this song is that this song immediately starts with, it's time to realize. And to be fully honest with you, this stands behind the entire concept of the album. In my opinion, it is that invitation for people to maybe see certain things that they never noticed before, or pay attention to certain parts of their life that they didn't before. It's time to realize how we are spending our time.
Yeah.
And what we do with our time. It's time to realize, because we are very often so reckless, and it's our only wealth. It's time. It's not the money, it's not the physical, things we buy for ourselves, the toys, the things we surround our lives with. The real wealth we have is the time that is given to us on this planet. And we don't know how long it is, but we know that we have today and now, and we are alive. So it's up to us what we do with our time.
And with our reality, because it's also like one of the main subjects in this song. I guess it's like that the way we create our reality around us.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, and this robot child voice telling these words, it adds a little bit to.
Absolutely.
It's really good. Yeah.
Our thoughts and emotions generate a certain energy that interacts with our universe.
Exactly.
I think that's.
Exactly.
We are very passionate about this, and we've seen in our own lives how our thoughts can materialize and how our thoughts have such a great power.
I mean, it's very hard to
always think about that. Yeah.
Yeah. To first think, you need to understand it and trust it, and then the second thing, you need to teach yourself to do this along your life. You need to believe and trust that you can build your reality around you
and it
only
attracts,
with your thoughts and emotions. And
Luna,
Luna,
Get down.
you can go for a walk.
Good girl. You want to come here? Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Good. Good. All right. All right. Sit down. Oh, yeah, like that. Good girl. All right.
Yeah, so basically in the album we're talking about the things that about our vision of the reality of certain situations in our
course.
life. So we are not saying everybody has to do this, it's just our vision.
Yeah.
It's my vision, her vision, Alice, Eugene. Yeah.
Yes.
We just deliver what we think.
Absolutely. And I thought that Lighthouse is actually such a great name for this song because it's that light that guides the people in the sea. It's the light that guides them in the night, so they know where they are, where they're going. It's the light that represents a specific place. There's different lighthouses, and they have other functions, but in general, having something that guides you through life, like that strong light that can be seen from far away in the sea, in the darkness, complete darkness. You can still see this light. As long as you have a light like that, whatever your light is, hold on to it, because it's difficult to be in complete darkness. And that's why, to me, that is what is my lighthouse, and at least I try my best to live my life by that concept. So, yeah,
I think with the music video we also added another layer of meaning to this song.
Absolutely.
With these kids, and that we need to maintain and keep this inner child, which people forget or even say, grow up already. But
yeah.
it's the worst thing you can suggest to somebody, grow up already. I'm fighting to keep this kid inside of me, not to grow up. Of course, you have all these responsibilities that comes with adult life, but with this we also need to remember our childhood dreams, and sometimes.
How many of you actually remember your childhood dreams?
Or something about what you were passionate when you were a kid. Are you still stick with this? How it is affecting your
reality now?
Now, yeah. If you're not doing this and you're doing completely different thing, are you happy with your life? I mean, there are so many things.
So many things. Yeah. I remember my childhood dreams. They are not at all what I do now. But I remember what else I was doing, which is exactly what I'm doing now. Exactly what I'm doing now. And that is really cool, because it's not just like, the question isn't, oh, do you remember who you wanted to become when you were a child, and now look at you, you're something else. Remember what you wanted to become. Not like that. Of course, I wanted to be in the medical industry because my mom was in the medical industry. So that's what I thought I'm going to grow up doing.
But this is wrong way of thinking.
Of course. But I was a child that didn't know better at the time. I thought that's how it works. But then a different side of me was evolving and developing, a side that made me feel very comfortable in front of the camera. As I would have very often audience, I would dance a lot in front of people. With my sisters. In kindergarten and school, we would create this plays. I was always passionate about dancing. My parents were both dancers. And even though I never performed on an actual stage, but I performed in front of people. And apparently I was passionate about it. I loved it.
It's funny because for me it's opposite. I hated it. In school, for example, you need to go sometimes and do some different things, like creative things in the school they asked you, and I never took part of it. I had horrible stage fear. I couldn't go there, and there is all these people, and you need to do something or say something or sing or whatever.
To me, it was just a different way of expressing myself. And I felt very unheard in my family, because I come from a very big family, poor economics in the country, poor situation in the family. And I never really felt really seen and heard, because I was the oldest and I had to always help, and parents were always working and never home. And I felt that when I was dancing with my sisters at these events, I was like almost just another way of showing my inner world.
Yeah.
And I thought that people can see me. People can finally see who I am, because I'm not the person that I look like.
Well, now you can do it every day on tour.
I feel the same till now. This is how I really feel on stage even now. I feel like I have this chance and opportunity to show and share my inner world. No matter how ugly, no matter how painful, no matter how beautiful, no matter what it is, what color, what, subject, no matter. Because I never really felt that just the way we look is enough to know a person. And sometimes even talking to a person is not enough to actually know the person. So I embraced it, obviously, already with Infected Rain being the only band that I've performed with on stage. I just learned that no matter how ugly this truth I'm trying to tell, or this emotion I'm trying to deliver is, I will show it. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's the right place and the right band to do this.
I feel that way for sure. And so that's what I remember. I remember wanting from as a child to become somebody when I grow up, but really what I was really passionate about was being one with the music. Even though I was not a singer, I was dancing, but that's exactly the same sensation to me.
Of course. Yeah, maybe I'm also disconnect from the reality when I'm on stage because of how I felt in childhood being on stage. I never went, but it was horrifying only to think about it.
The idea of it horrified you, yeah.
Yeah, but now when I go on stage, I disconnect. Sometimes they
Completely.
speak in the band like, hey, remember this guy on the crowd? Like, no. Sometimes I see people, but most of the time I don't.
You are in your own world,
yeah.
Which is great, whatever works for you, I never knew you had a fear of stage. That's nice to know.
Yeah.
I didn't know, I thought I had it.
I don't have it anymore, of course.
Yeah.
But
No, I have emotions till now, but it's been a while since we've been on tour, or oh my God, this festival is so important. Look how many people, or something like that.
Yeah,
of course, even for club shows. But as soon as I step on stage, that is gone. I don't feel it anymore.
Of course. Yeah, most of the time, if I have this a little bit like a weird feeling, it's because I'm worried about if everything works well. Nothing
Technical
breaks.
issues.
I like to break strings, so I.
he is joking about it. He doesn't like it, but it happens often.
Yeah, it happens. Yeah, when we play in very sweaty and hot venues, I sweat a lot and the strings are getting rusty. So basically, if I got sweaty on one show, the next show, this string will break. I'm sure about it.
Yes, so he has to,
Yeah, so I have to change strings quite often. But I used to break strings almost every show. But now on this tour...
You did what, 2 times? Once?
Yeah, but it was strings that I hit with my guitar, with my foot, and this why I broke it. It wasn't because it was sweaty or something.
Answer this question. Why do you hit your guitar with your foot? A lot of people are asking.
Yeah, I hit my guitar with everything, with my forehead as well.
Oh yeah, he broke his. He definitely had some injuries on stage with his guitar.
Blood many times on
He is
tour.
definitely the most energetic guitar player I've ever seen, and I like to watch different shows. It's true.
Yeah, I'm very excited every single time I go on stage.
Yeah.
Even in very small, tiny venues when you can't move, I still like it. I go in my world and I...
That's good. It's very good. It's actually very inspiring too, because if your bandmates are not as passionate about the music you do, or don't feel it as much as you, it's not their fault. I'm not saying that, because obviously we are all different people. We are now even from different countries. Like, we don't necessarily always vibe the same, but musically we are all on the same page. Eugene with the drums, Vidic with the guitars, and Ellis with the bass. And when I come on stage with microphone after everybody already started, I feel part of something bigger, part of something that means something. And that is the sensation that I wouldn't change for anything else.
Yeah, yes, me too, actually. I love playing shows.
Yeah, me too. Lighthouse music video, do you want to tell them how you came up with that idea of the
Actually,
paranormal?
we came up with this idea
Quite together,
because
quite
I had
together.
one idea that brought us to this.
Yeah.
And we kind of
developed it.
abandoned that idea because, it wasn't perfect.
Yeah.
And we had to talk more and more.
Yeah,
And then,
my idea was a little bit more challenging and involved more people, so we didn't know if we will have even time to find these kids and to find them and make sure that they feel comfortable, and you know, the parents that have to be with them, and it was quite last minute. And
yeah, and also like it's very difficult to film. I mean, there is like not a rule, but thing in the filming industry that is the most difficult thing is to film kids and animals, because you can't really control them very well.
Of course,
And
you can
I was
train
like,
them.
okay, let's film kids. I hope we can find some.
Yeah, that was my idea, to add children to it, and to
Yeah, we find really cool kids.
great children,
Yeah.
great children.
So we had 4 kids. Every kid would interpret. No, how to say?
Represent
Represent, yes, one of us. So
as children, yeah. So
I have 3 nephews, and the youngest one, Misha, was fitting perfectly. And I was like, do you want to be in a music video? He's like, yeah, I want it.
Yeah, he was, I think, the oldest of them all, but you can't tell. I think he's the oldest of them all.
Isn't Paula older?
No, she's only 10. She just became 10 now. I know, because I helped pick her a gift.
Yeah.
She just became,
maybe yes.
maybe like a couple of years. I'm not sure how old he is. 12,
11,
13, 12.
11, I think, at the moment of.
And she was 9 at the moment of filming.
yeah,
Pretty close in age, give or take. But the other 2 children were a little bit younger, so we were we were skeptical about, like, aren't they going to look too different in age?
Yeah, but it was good.
It worked out. It worked out perfectly.
Paula, the girl that was representing Lena, was actually. She is a daughter of Valentin, our producer from all the albums, and also front of house, and it was very cool actually that she was there.
She is a very talented child. I know her.
She's very musical as well, because Valentin and his wife, they are very musical.
They both
parents.
are. The mother as well. Yeah, that's true.
She can play piano. And she's not doing this for living or anything like this, but she's very musical. And they have this kid that is also really excited about music.
Yeah. She learns about.
She knows about Eurovision, everything.
Yeah, Queen is one of her favorite bands. She's great. She's a great child to be around, and I felt very excited that she could be in this music video playing me. You know. She was very shy in front of the camera, but she did a great job. She did a great job, I think.
Yeah, all the kids.
Yeah, and I think the other 2 were friends of Paula, right?
No, the boy was a friend, and the girl, the smallest one, that was representing Alice. She, we asked the guys that were filming. She was basically from. List of people that you can hire for commercials and stuff.
Yeah, like cameos and little things like that. So little acting in commercials and stuff like that. So they have like a database of certain actors.
Yes.
So we asked them because we couldn't find another girl that would look.
Yeah, it's also very challenging for us to get ready for the filmings for music videos, because we are always on tour, and you can be at home to go and decide, and so I had to ask different people to can you please do this and that, ask this and find this, because we
have
somewhere.
we have some people that are doing that for a living. So we hire, like we hired this girl that helped with other music videos.
Yes.
But
Adriana,
she helped with the coordinate the children.
Yes, because she was like, okay, kids, now you
good
do
job,
this.
now you do this all together. She was great,
Yeah. We will do a making of eventually.
A more detailed story about Never to Return, specifically a music video, will come out, I think, after this one.
Yeah, we will talk about also Ouija board and everything.
Yep. I think we should continue.
This video will be like 15 hours long.
Yeah. All right. So the answer is you. I almost read Me Against You.
Yeah, the answer is you.
The answer is you. Interesting song.
Yeah, it's very interesting song, and it's very like far from being standard chorus verse chorus, you know, like this standard pop structure of the song, and the structure is very different, but it progresses, evolving the way you don't really feel how it comes from this part to this part, which is really cool, because if you take Because I Let You, there is like a drop and you understand, okay, now
a different part. Yeah.
But here it slowly goes there.
True. I never thought about it that way.
And then you already comes with this like singing melody, which would never fit in the beginning of the song.
Yeah.
And then only in the end of the song we come up with this breakdown
to bring back to
to make the whole complete picture.
Yeah.
And because I had this, like the beginning of the song, like half of the song maybe composed for a while, and I didn't know what to do, and then Eugen come up with this second part. And I was in Switzerland, and I remember I had to borrow a guitar from Jonas from Helveti, because I didn't have anything, and I need to record some ideas. And I recorded some guitars for pre-production there. And I was like, I'm not sure, because it's super weird song now.
It's such a weird song that it has so many musical styles in it. Think about it. It has a lot of electronic. It has a tuts, 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 like the most popular beat, the disco beat. I don't know how to call it. It does. It's so many different genres in one song.
This even first verse, it comes with this breakbeat style, very similar to some Prodigy, the Prodigy style.
I was just about to say, this song
and also
actually.
in the breakdown, there is this vocal melody that also kind of reminds a little bit of the Prodigy, and which is a cool part.
A good thing. We all decided that this song is our own little homage for Prodigy.
Exactly.
We love Prodigy since we were teenagers. We've been to their shows, and still a big place in my heart. I often listen to the Prodigy when I drive long distances.
Yeah, of course.
So I'm following Maxime, the singer, on social media. We love Prodigy very much. It was our own alternative electronic music back in the day, when we started listening to alternative music. So in a way, this song is, connected.
There is also a fun fact about this song, that sometimes when I edit different videos, like from our tours and everything, and if I see a cool sound that was filmed on the camera actually, and I could quickly export the sound and keep it somewhere in my folder and maybe eventually use it. So when we were on tour with Helveti and Lacuna Coil, you had your
2019.
birthday in Leipzig.
Yes,
and we had this like after party a little bit with all the bands, like having
celebrating
fun,
a little
playing
bit,
acoustic guitar. It was different things we were doing.
We
at the
have it
backstage.
somewhere on a tour video online. It's online.
Exactly.
You guys can find it.
Yeah, and at some point somebody dropped a bottle and broke it, and you started laughing like this, something weird, and like, this is super cool. This breaking bottle and then laughter afterwards was super weird, but it had something. and it actually made the whole thing like it made a very interesting touch to the verses of the song, because I put this laughter and I reversed it sometimes, put it in the normal speed, and the breaking bottle
I forgot
is
about
a that's, you know, and this first impact is the breaking bottle on from
my
this,
birthday from 2019, you guys.
yeah, and I was like, really cool. I think it's really cool.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
it's still there.
I think this is the second story we have with a broken glass that we kept. The first one was in the song At the Bottom of the Bottle. Accidentally, our bass player at the time broke a glass that was in the bar, you know, just out up there, and
but
we
the
kept
thing
it.
We didn't have it in the song, but we kept it in the music video.
Yeah. We kept it in the music video, not in the song. On the album, you won't hear it, but you will see it and hear it. That's the second time. That's pretty cool. I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah. I love this song a lot, and I mean, I would film a music video and release as a single every single song from this album.
Yeah.
But yeah, unfortunately, we didn't film anything for this one. But I love it, and I'm so happy we will include it for the next tour, and we will play it live. I can't wait.
The answer is you was very interesting for me, because I knew exactly what I want to do with this lyrics, and I knew exactly what I want to go. I had older ideas that I picked up and developed in one sitting. It came to me immediately when I listened to the raw version of the music, and I had input from you, like how do you see it vocally and where and how. I was looking through my ideas in my notebook, and when I saw that idea, I remembered exactly when I wrote that down and why. And I was like, this right now, I felt it, and I knew I want to talk more about how really everything depends on us, really. We let things happen to us, with us, and so the answer is always inside of us. We either do something or don't do something. We either think something or don't think something. We either are part of something or we are not. And it's only up to us, it should be, how we change it. If we got lost on this, you know, I don't know, in this challenging life, we often get lost. All of us, me included. And the answer when you get lost is always within you. It's you. Yeah. And of course, this song has obviously a quite deeper meaning. It's not just about the individual, it's also about how every single person can actually change the world if he believes he can. How every single person can actually make a difference on this planet and for the situation we live in this planet, in this society, or even in his own family. Just one person can make a difference.
Yes, great.
Yeah.
I like it how we kept this. The answer is you, with very high-pitched, hysterical screams.
I think this is my highest I've ever went.
Usually I'm not the big fan of this kind of screams, but it fitted so well because it was so hysterical and added a little bit like this
I experimented there completely. I did not know if you will like it again, because I don't even like it when it's too high scream, especially for too long.
Yeah.
So I like diversity in vocals very much, and I go for diversity in vocals. And I was like, I don't know, I'll try, we'll see. And now I don't know how to do that live. I have to learn again, you know, because I improvised.
You can do anything you want on live.
Exactly, the answer is you.
Yeah.
Yes. All right, what do we have there? Vivarium. Oh my God, that song. The music video I am reacting to the music video because I remember how challenging that was, but let's talk about music first.
Yeah, regarding music, this song was brought by Eugen, and it had a little bit different structure and riffs, because he's not a guitar player, but he has a guitar at home to record the ideas. So the whole song was composed and written by him in the beginning, and he sent me the song, and I was like, yeah, I really like some elements. I wouldn't change it, but some things I would make it a little bit more beautiful with the guitar. And yeah, I started working on it, and it fitted perfectly for 8-string guitar, and we kept it in the 8-string guitar. I so he had this intro, that the beginning of the song, and then it went right away to verse or something. And I was talking to him like, why we won't make this, why we're not making this intro as a riff and just play it with this, like the same thing, but heavy with guitars and real drums. And he was like, yeah, it's a great idea, let's do it. And I think it added this really cool thing to the song. It's one note you played and with the synths on the background. And we kept many things from his original version.
Mm-hmm.
The chorus stayed exactly the same, and the synths are from Eugen, and the bridge, and yeah, it's very weird song, because when you listen to the chorus, first two chords like are one thing, and then you expect another chord and it goes completely different direction, and it's like, oh, every time is a little bit surprising, which is cool to have.
I don't know if you musically meant to do that. I did not even try to do that. It was not very easy for me to compose for this song. It was quite challenging.
But it screams anyway in this in the choruses.
No, I'm saying in general, this song, when I was trying to compose for it, I had two ideas for it, not one. And it happens rarely, but it happens either this lyrics or this lyrics. Both can fit well.
Mm-hmm.
But I kept this one, and I didn't have a name for it, but I wanted with this song, with this more weird, unique, complicated song, I wanted to talk about something more unique and complicated that is hard to explain, that every single one of us felt sooner or later in their life, either at home or at work or in the society we live in. And it is the feeling of being claustrophobic, because we almost like surround ourselves with certain walls and try to ignore what's the reality really, and we only know the reality we build around us. And sometimes that reality is suffocating us, because we follow what is expected of us instead of following our heart. We follow what is expected with work, with the, where you are in life, and oh, it's time to have children, oh, it's time to get a promotion at work, oh, it's time, all things that are expected of you from the society. It's just expected all the time. And there are so many like this. Some are specifically directly to females, some are specifically directly to male, which shouldn't exist. It's not fair, but they really, really, really can influence our life and our decisions in life. So that is what the song is about. When you feel so claustrophobic about all these things and expectations that people have towards you, just because that's what they build around themselves, as a society.
Yeah.
And it feels very scary sometimes, and I wanted to talk about that. It is very challenging song for me to perform live, because I almost have no, like when I start singing, I start immediately, and then there's a part, the breakdown, and then when I actually start the very first verse, I don't ever stop. And vocally, it has everything. It has all kinds of techniques vocally, and which I can do separately, but all together without really having a chance to breathe, I had to learn how to do. And I still am learning, but now I feel more loose on stage with this song. This song always was horrifying for me to go and,
Yeah, but it's fun to play.
Oh, it's
live.
very fun to play live, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about the music video.
Yeah,
that
when
was
we
really...
decided which single should be the next, and we decided to keep Vivarium, because one of the songs that we wanted to do was The Answer Is You or Vivarium. And you and Alice insisted more on Vivarium, so we kept it as a single. And yeah, we wanted to make it as a vivarium with some animals or something like this, and didn't really have a plan. And I remember that I wanted to shoot it in the night time, in the evening. So I remember it was 2 p.m. and we still didn't have a location and the idea about what we will do and how we will do it. And then we talked with Eugen, the camera guy, and I dropped a few ideas, and we developed the whole topic, and with these bodies, that this crazy guy that creates
something,
a perfect band or something with the bodies that are maybe even robots. It puts so many questions, but I'm super happy with the
It was last
idea.
minute.
And I think it's one of the most creative things.
Yes, absolutely. We did not have a different day. We couldn't push it on a different day because the team was already scheduled for other projects.
Yeah, we had a
and
small gap in our tour where the whole band was
together.
Yeah.
And we had to go on tour. Also, we didn't really, even if we could have found another day or two to offer, they were fully booked. So we had to film on the same day that we planned, even though our plan to film in a specific location failed.
Yeah. We
so
filmed
now we had
in
no
4
location.
days we filmed 4 music videos actually.
Yes.
Because I led to Lighthouse, Pandemonium and Vivarium.
Yes. And so everybody was helping. It was actually filmed on the same territory where you have your house.
Yeah.
We will say, actually that place is quite iconic because that's where you were rehearsing with your first band.
Yeah, instead of this place, it was
a different building. Yeah, it was
yeah.
a different building, but it's the same location. It was, that building was put down. It was like a storage building, like a summer house or whatever we can call it.
Anyway, now it looks very authentic and fits so good the song, and I'm so happy we did it like this. And
yeah, me too. Me too. Your nephews were helping, creating those bodies, and the main actor, of course.
Yeah, the main actor is Victor. He's the guy that has this camera that we are renting. So we are renting from him this camera with lenses. It's a red camera, and
he's always been part of the team that we we hire. Let's say that.
There are
3,
a few people
yeah, 3 or
that
4.
are most of the time they're always there on the set.
Sometimes we have more, but these 3 are always there, and they already know us. They know our music is very heavy. It's not, really typically what they listen to, but they know us and they are very good at what they do. Actually, Victor did my suspension in black gold.
Yeah.
He is very, very good with suspending people for
good with
videos.
So many things he does, explosions or for any kind of fire, anything you want. And
for videos,
he said, you give me an idea what you want to do,
and I
will make it.
Yeah,
all
he's
this
great.
Gear that we used for cameras, he did himself.
Yeah.
And it's all handmade.
Amazing
things. It's
very talented guy. Everybody from this crew, we absolutely love. If you guys are watching this video, big thank you for you guys. All right, Pandemonium.
Pandemonium. I think it was the fastest song that I composed in my life.
Really?
It took me like 2 hours to put it together, because we were a little bit late with the schedule, and I was thinking, okay, maybe I need to give some ideas to Eugen so he can work at home, and I maybe can drop some riffs, just simple things, and give it to him so he can work on it, and I will work on something else.
Yeah.
So at that time I made a decision for myself, because I worked a lot for the band on emails and all this office stuff that I don't really like to do, but I have
Someone has to do it.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not like I hate it. It's okay. But
of course, when you're a musician, you want to do things connected to music
there
more.
is always a lot of work, and if you don't write music, you can find always something to do for Infected Rain. And
yeah, there's always work all the time.
Yeah,
same
and
here.
There we already have we have this deadline, and we don't have enough of songs, and I have to work, and then I decided for myself, okay, one day I work on emails, second day I work on music only. That's it. I separate it like this. And yeah, so when I work on music, I don't touch emails, and vice versa. So it was 1 week where I composed more or less. Of course, we finished the songs all together. It's not like I do everything, but put together a song, like basic structure and everything.
Takes a lot of time.
Yeah, and I remember that in 1 week, I came with 3 songs. It was Pandemonium, ENMITY, and Lighthouse.
Interesting.
I composed these songs in 6 days. It's like one day I was working on a song and I finished it. I'm like, oh, that was a very efficient day. Then the next day I was working on emails. The next day I started again, and like this, in 3 working days, I did 3 different songs. I mean, it doesn't happen like this always.
No. Sometimes it happens like that. Like I said, sometimes even for me, it just goes, and I can just finish it in one day. Sometimes I work on one song for 3-4 days.
Yeah. Sometimes it takes years actually to finish a song.
Yeah. For sure.
For example, like Never to Return. This small electronic part was a long time.
Started more than a year before we started.
Almost 2 years before we came back to this same idea. So Pandemonium was one of these songs where I just, I will just drop some ideas and send it to Eugen. And it was like early morning, like 8 or something. And I started recording things like, maybe this and that. And then like, this comes good with this one. And then in half an hour, I already had a structure of the song, and like, I will program drums a little bit and program bass for it, and I need some samples, electronic parts, and then it was already 10, and I was like, no, this song is almost ready to go. And of course I sent it to Eugen, and he worked a little bit more on it, and he added some cool sounds to it. And the funny part that we always have these working titles for the songs.
Oh yeah, true.
And of course I remember all these working titles, and for this song it was Inhale or Exhale.
I don't know.
Something.
You know better.
Yeah, and I was like, it's a cool thing maybe to add in some pause in the song or something.
Like the sound.
And there is this pause, very quick one in the song, and there is this exhale. Exhale. And this
is it mine?
Mine.
Yours.
Yeah.
I was just asking, did you take it from there?
I was like, fuck, where to get this song with this sound? And I was too lazy to set up a microphone to do this exhale sound. And I took my phone and like recorded a few of them. I wanted it natural, like, very like natural, not forced or like you need to do it. And I had a few, and then I put it there.
But that was after I sent you the lyrics.
No,
because
it was there always.
Probably.
Because it's exhale, it's nothing to do with the lyrics. Actually,
no, it doesn't. Yeah, probably that wasn't in a version you sent me, because I didn't have that one to work with.
But now it's on the album.
Yeah, it is. It is right before I start. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, lyrically, I feel like it's a very short lyrics for this song, and it was very clear to me what I want to write about. Just the word mayhem, which I actually use in this lyrics. Mayhem is how I feel our world is right now, is in big chaos. And the more years are passing, more things are happening that are so predictable, and it's so crazy to me that people out there that are in charge let this thing happen, even though we are considering ourselves such evolved beings, and things are happening so much. I'm talking about wars, I'm talking about injustices, I'm talking about all the cruelty that we have towards ourselves because of a different race, towards other animals, towards everything really. And this is what the song is about. It's about the result, what it will lead to. It will lead to chaos, and nothing else will be there, not even us. So
chaos will prevail.
Chaos will prevail. We actually even thought about naming the song like this, but then
but there is a realm of chaos, and I was thinking maybe it's a little bit too much of chaos.
And there's also a band called Slaughter to Prevail. We didn't want it to. Often we don't know. Maybe there's a band called Pandemonium. I don't know. But the things that we at least know, we try to avoid if we can. So there's no, bad feelings between bands, even though I don't know anybody from Slaughter to Prevail. Great music, but I don't know them personally. But we are trying to avoid these things if we know anything about them, basically that's all I can tell you about the lyrics for the song. It's a song that I love listening to a lot. I put it on repeat a lot. I don't know.
I also like to play it live. I know that for Valentin, front of house guy, it's very challenging to do the sound because the choruses are very quiet vocally, and it's very low in key. And for you, the lower it is for vocals, the harder it sings louder. Yeah. This is why it's a little bit challenging for him to bring the vocals up.
I was definitely going for that softer vocals. I didn't know if you will leave it that way. I did it for a couple of songs on this album, something that I didn't do before. I always tried to, the chorus especially has to be powerful, but I listen to so many bands that don't have that, and I love them. One of those good examples is the band Deftones. Having more airy, quieter type of melody for something that is actually expected to be powerful can be a cool trick of mine,
I like it that we have at least 2 songs like this on this album. Lighthouse also has this light things that are, it really gives the vibes of Deftones, and this is the best part of it.
We like that part. Enmity, really interesting song.
Musically it's it was also quite quick. It was one of these songs that was written in one day, but to be fair, the second part of the song with this bridge that evolves, it's quite different from the beginning of the song. It was composed a while ago, so I just put together things. And the funny part is that when I bought my second 8-string guitar, I filmed a video for my Patreon about this guitar, and because I have series of videos on my Patreon telling stories behind of every instrument I have, because some of the stories are really interesting actually, because how I found this or that instrument. So this episode was about this new guitar, and I was so happy to have it, and because it's not easy to find these guitars anymore, because I don't know, they don't produce them anymore, or they produce them very limited. It's a Meshuggah model of Ebony's, and Valentin has the same, and I always wanted this guitar.
Oh really? I did not know that.
So I was searching, and I keeping an eye always if somebody's selling it, and I finally found it in Switzerland. So I had to drive and pick this guitar from the person that was selling, and it was like brand new, super cool guitar. And and everybody in the comments on Patreon was like, I wonder how it sounds, this guitar. And the next video on Patreon, I recorded, actually it's 2 riffs that I composed quickly, just quickly something
to show them
how it sounds.
Your followers, of course.
And I played it, and I kept it exactly the same.
Really?
These 2 first riffs are exactly from
I wonder if they know.
I told them. I released another video telling them hey guys, if not for Patreon, this song wouldn't exist.
Probably. That's
because
amazing.
I wouldn't take my time to drop
That's
this
really
cool
cool.
videos. Yeah.
It's really cool. I like when these little things happen this way. You know, this song is also very special because in a way I felt the need to go back into a very painful emotion, unfortunately, that I've been going through quite a while in my life, and this emotion I've tried multiple times to deal with, and the only thing that helps me is music. So this is the continuation of the song Walking Dead. It's about the same type of emotion, it's about the same person, and I just felt that I needed to talk more about it. Essentially, this song is about how substance can consume you, the real you, and transform you into somebody absolutely disgusting. And controlling the substance is something that a lot of us fail to do. Controlling your addiction in general. And just instead of just enjoying certain things, like in this case, I'm talking about a drink, you know, possessed in a blink, you know, by the drink itself. It's just how that changes the person. Unfortunately, I had some bad experience with intoxicated people since I was a child. It developed a fear in me, and it developed a very strong dislike and repulsion towards people that abuse certain substances. And it just so happened that in my life, throughout life, I've had people like that. In this specific situation, this person inspired me to talk some more about it. So that's all I can say, without exposing too much, I guess.
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, I like the song that, you know, I like the songs that people can relate to them with their own experiences and parts of the lives they are in, or they're living. They're going through some things in their life,
Yeah.
and in some songs you can find something that is really is touching you, and you can relate to it. But maybe the main idea of the song wasn't
Even that. Yeah.
But it's actually the best part of it, because once you finish the piece of art, and the song is in the end piece of art,
Yeah.
the best part of it, that it doesn't belong to you anymore. It
No.
belongs to every single person,
That
because
listens to you,
if you feel something looking on the painting or anything, and if you feel something, it belongs to you.
Yeah.
Not
It's your experience
Yeah.
about that art. It's
And-
your interpretation of the art.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's why I do like not going to this person because this is what this person
Yeah,
did.
it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. What matters is we go through ups and downs in life, and I choose to talk about these ups and downs with our listeners.
Yeah, of course.
And this specific one, if you know, maybe some of you did, you know, feel a connection between this song and Walking Dead. Maybe you didn't. Now you know.
Yeah.
It comes from the same inspiration.
Yeah, and it's one of the heaviest songs on the album.
Absolutely, I agree.
First, like 3-4 minutes of the song goes non-stop,
Yeah,
heavy
I agree.
things,
Yeah.
and I was curious how it will sound. I mean, I am curious because we will play it on the next tour. And
I'm actually pretty happy. I think this song is a live song.
Yeah.
Very much so.
we were talking about how to maybe to end the shows with these songs. I'm still not sure.
Yeah?
Maybe sometimes I think we can try a few
yeah.
shows and how it goes.
To see. Yeah.
If it's a little bit weird feeling or feeling of unfinished things, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. We will see. We will only know when we perform it.
Yeah, it's quite challenging.
Yeah.
I'm super afraid to play this.
It is quite challenging, but we got this.
There is a funny thing. When I was composing this song, I composed this chorus, which I'm calling chorus, but it's just part of the song, and I wanted to copy it again, so I took the the guitars and everything and copied, but I copied wrong. One beat earlier, and I didn't notice that. And when I played, I was like, something is weird but so cool. And then I discovered that actually I copied it wrong, and I left it like this.
Good.
And
By accident.
It gives this super weird feeling when you listen to it. I mean, when you listen to it, it's okay. You understand that it flows.
Yeah.
But to play it, I had super hard time to record the guitars for it because it's really against you to play offbeat kind of this thing.
Got it.
And yeah.
Curious.
Yeah.
All right.
It's basically the same riff, but offbeat kind of.
A little bit, yeah. All right, we have unpredictable. Can I start? I just want to say one thing.
Yeah, of course.
I get to say it's a trap in this song.
Yeah.
Only fans of Star Wars will know what I'm referring to.
I'm not a fan of Star Wars for me.
But you know it. You know
No.
this? No, you don't? Okay. It's a big thing, like when the commander says, it's a trap! Yeah, I don't remember in what episode, but it's a big thing. They add it in a Disney World or Disneyland when they have an entire like Star Wars theme entire month. It's a thing.
Yeah. Okay.
You know it.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, regarding music, it also has this a little bit of Oriental touch, and I was feeling like, okay, we have Never to Return, and now this song, and it was composed in the same time with Dying Light, and I felt a little bit weird about this song.
Really?
Yeah. I find it really cool, but it's like very weird, especially the ending of the song.
Yeah, the ending, I get it.
Yeah, but I like it. I wouldn't change anything, and I like it a lot the way it is, and it's a really cool song on the album, and yeah, maybe at some point we can even play it live, but not in the.
Unpredictable is about how unpredictable the time is, really. How we should stop trying to predict it and just, time goes, and basically just like in previous songs, I am trying to invite people to make time work for them and the way they want it to work, and instead of just this clock hands that move all the time. It's literally what I say, the hands of time, they never stop. We think we got it, but it's a trap. Because why it's a trap? It's a trap because time is also a concept that we came out with people. We as people, whenever we start to, even before people were civilized, they found a way to measure time.
Yeah.
Before they even knew how to maybe read. I don't know which came first, but a lot of time ago, people came out, they understood that the sun raises here, it goes there, it moves. So how are we going to measure the time, the part of the day, you know? So we for some reason, we need a definition for everything, even the things that we can't feel or see.
Yeah. Imagine the minute, how's it called?
Hands, the hands of the clock.
Yeah. So the minute hand on the clock appeared less than 100 years ago.
Really?
They had only hour, and then they wanted, people.
There are seconds as well, some of them have.
Not seconds, minutes.
Yeah, no, imagine.
You need minutes.
Of course.
Then when the train started, you cannot be like,
only
they needed more precise. So it's divided.
Yeah. Wow, only 100 years ago? No.
Less than 100 years.
Really?
Actually, I may be wrong, but I think it was
around 100, give or take.
Yeah, okay. Maybe 200 even. Even
Still.
300 or even 400, it's like, what the fuck?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Game of Blame, interesting song. I have a lot to say about this one. But I'll start with you musically. It's one of more soft song on the album,
because
probably.
This song,
it's quite long song.
Yeah, I had this idea for a while, and I always was keeping it for my another project, for another kind, and I was thinking to make a full electronic song out of it. And I had it like there. I remembered about this always, but when it came to record Infected Rain, I remembered about this. I'm like, no, it can fit so well Infected Rain. Why I should put it out. And yeah, and we recorded more instruments, a little breakdown, and worked more. And I had this version that I wasn't fully happy with, and I sent it to Eugen, and he worked more. And then in the end of the day, he sent me his version of it, quite changed, and it was so nice. And I was like,
he
wow,
loves this song.
You did a great job with it.
He really loves this song. He even loves it even more after I put the lyrics on it. He sent me a special message separate from our chat, which he never does, really. It was quite unusual.
The first verse, this melody of vocals, I really like how it flows, and the melody.
It's quite
cool.
Unique for Infected Rain, even vocally. I gotta say that I prepared the vocal melodies in its almost ready form before we started recording this separately from Las Vegas, where I live when I'm not on tour. And this was the only song that I quite had doubts, because it's so soft as a melody. I could adopt so many ideas here, so many, really. The only predominant emotion that I could feel was melancholy. And so I fly to Moldova, and this song is not ready. I don't know what lyrics will be there, what is it going to be called, and in the end of the day, even if this song is going to be part of it, because maybe we
already were recording the album.
Yes.
And while we were recording, in one of the days, we were like, we need to do something with the
song.
Yes,
so I flew. I was already in Moldova. We were recording the album, and I had specific days with the producer booked for just to record my parts vocally. As I said, they were not only composed, but they were in not a raw form. They were all quite prepared. Every single song I came in prepared for the first time. Before we will always work together, try this, try that, remember? But here I already remembered how to even sing it. I knew the notes, I knew everything, I was sure about them. It's almost like I rehearsed them a lot. You know?
we had fully all the pre-production. And when you have pre-production, it's basically
easy.
Recorded at home, some layered vocals, so you can see at least the idea, and you can listen again and again and again to understand, is it really what we want?
Correct. We listen to it multiple times, we tweak little things, and then we listen to it, and then I remember, okay, here's what I do in this part, here's what I do in this part. And this song had no name, no lyrics. And while I was in Moldova in our rehearsing studio for a couple of days, I wrote the lyrics for this song for during a couple of days. I picked a completely, a blank paper. I just got the blank paper, and I knew exactly what I wanted to talk about. Game of blame. Now, this term was not that familiar to me. I knew about, I know people do this all the time. We do this since we were children, pointing fingers at each other. He did it, she did it, or he told me to do it, or whatever. This game of blame is really what we play.
But the answer is you.
Exactly. This game of blame is literally what we play all the time. Since we were children, we play it at work, we play it in our house, in our family.
But it's very destructive.
It's very bad. It's very bad, and it takes a lot of humbleness. It takes a lot of awareness to agree with the fact that you are wrong and take full responsibility about it. And there are many people that do so, and it's awesome. We don't do it all the time, but I try to learn to do it as much as possible, because no one is perfect and we make mistakes all the time. And taking full responsibility of your mistakes, or the way you speak, or the way you think, or the way you maybe acted in a certain moment when maybe it felt right for you, but in the situation it could have been presented a little bit different, with the same message but differently. I really wanted to talk about it, because unfortunately I feel it a lot in my life, and I see it a lot around me. And I try my best to learn how to not be part of this game. And I needed so much to write about this. This is the first time I touched this subject, with Infected Rain. I'm sure it's not going to be the last.
Hopefully it will be the last, because you will not feel it in the future.
I hope so. But yeah, the most important part about the song is that almost no parts in this song ever repeat. Every single verse is different, and it tells a story.
Choruses.
Yeah. But it tells a specific story. And the story and the message here is that in the end of the day, we gently lie the guilt to someone else's feet. It's still your fault, not mine. And yeah.
Yeah.
So this is what this song.
Story.
This is everything I could say about this song. I love it a lot. It still brings a lot of melancholy to me, because unfortunately, I feel like the world grows with a big ego more and more, and those two things that I mentioned, like humbleness and awareness, are fading away. In the big picture. Of course, I'm not talking about individuals, because as individuals, I know a lot of people that are very humble and that are very aware, at least they try to be. But in the big picture, as a society, we're fucking failing. So, paura, fear.
Yeah, finally.
Paura is a word from Italian that means fear. And I have a very cool story behind the lyrics. If you want to tell them how you created the song.
Okay, let's start with the music first. I wanted to have like a twin song for Never to Return, and to keep the same key and the same like mood, because I wanted to have one in the beginning of the album and one in the end. And
quite similar to what we did with the previous album with Postmortem.
Yeah.
Quite similar.
And I also wanted to have this kind of feeling of the desert and, you know, all these things. And I started writing this song, and it was quite fast as well for me to write it, because it just flowed. And for me, it's the best feeling when I look back and I don't remember how I composed the song. It's the best feeling, because if it's so, then
it came natural.
Yeah, then it's not you, it's some universe
gave
it to you.
Yeah.
So it's one of these songs where you...
that's a great perspective, I like that.
Yeah, I mean, if you really try your best to write a cool song, you will fail, because you are inventing. If you are trying to invent something,
it's been done already.
Yeah, but when you open yourself for all this endless energy flowing from universe, you just need to pick up not only the songs, ideas, everything in your life you can pick up from there. And for me, the creative process is the same. If I write and I just do, it flows, and you are an instrument basically. Yeah. The
guitar is just like another part of your body.
Yeah, no, not the guitar, even me. I don't feel sometimes that I composed the song. It just was given from somewhere. I mean, for me, it's my personal experience.
Yeah, no, it makes sense, absolutely. I definitely stop myself when it feels like I am forcing myself to write.
Exactly.
I stop. Yeah. When it's like a rule I created for myself. And since the very second album I started bringing ideas vocally. First album I didn't know what I'm doing, but quite with the second album I started bringing ideas, and slowly I started taking control of the vocal melody in the Infected Rain. But yeah, that was, if it feels forced, if it feels like I don't know, and it's hours like this, just stop, disconnect, put it away. Think about a different song or something different completely.
Or work together in the team.
Because sometimes it's just what it is, and maybe for this specific thing you had nothing to say in that moment, and that's okay. That's totally fine. We are not robots. We are not just programmed to have certain results. We function better one day and worse a different day in the same field. Yeah. It is just how it is.
For this song, when I was composing this, I wanted to create this like mood as you would sit next to a fireplace, next to a fire somewhere in desert during the night, something like this. And I wanted to keep this in my head while I was writing this song. And yeah, like to have this idea that everything has like expiration date, but everything, and the time is endless. And when we die, when humanity will die and the planet, it will flow and continue.
Yes.
And
That's nice.
I just wanted to keep this idea when I was writing the song. So this is why the bridge and the verses are very moody and has this ambient sound of cracking noises or something.
Yeah. That's really interesting that you say that, because when I was working on PAURA, I think I had them both. I had Never to Return and PAURA, I had them. Like I could listen to them like back to back, especially because you told me that they are connected, and that melody-wise they are connected. And I was thinking to apply something I applied to the previous album with the song Postmortem Part 1 and Part 2. I did apply certain newer lyrics, but I did have certain lyrics from the Part 1, so it's very obvious connection. Now here, I thought I'm gonna do the same thing. Then I wrote these lyrics for PAURA so fast. I was thinking to have the chorus in Italian. That was my initial idea. And the reason why I chose Italian for the name as well was because of my family. I have this book that was given to me by my sister long ago. I think I was first year of university probably, so before my 20s, probably 19, I don't remember exactly. It's just a very small book. I actually do have it. I should bring it and show it to people. Maybe it exists translated. Yeah, or maybe we will... Should I bring it?
Yeah. And here comes power of
Fear.
editing.
No.
No.
And
the book is here.
And the book is here, magic. All right, this book is quite small, if you can see. The writer is Italian. His name is Giulio Cesare Giacobbe. And the book in Italian is called La paura è una sega mentale.
Yes.
Come liberarsene per sempre. It's a non-fiction book about the power of fear and how it can consume us and what to do to get rid of it. This book I read multiple times, I don't know, probably more than 5 times. It's a very fast book to read, and it was given to me by my sister. And in that moment when I read it, I was like, okay, it's a cool book. Then throughout my life since then, I had actually moments that called for it, and I wanted to go back into it. And the more I read it, the more I love it, and I wanted to talk about this. And the reason why it starts in the beginning with me reciting in a way a text where I explain what fear actually is and what is its power and how to get rid of it, came also from this book where he gives so many definitions to the word paura, the word fear, what it actually is. Because fear, just like time, is not something we can see or touch or taste. I mean, we can feel it a lot because fear gives so many chemicals reactions in your brain and body as well, that is actually really bad for us.
Yeah.
Really
Fear
bad for
and
us.
guilt are the most destructive feelings, I guess.
And the reason I chose Italian is exactly because my entire family lives in Italy for more than 20 years. Me, myself, I lived there, did some studies there, and I love returning there. I love the language and the culture very much. A lot of people that listened to Infected Rain were quite shocked with the choice of the language, because it's not really my mother language, just like English it's not. But all the Italian fans are very happy, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's cool. I like to implement different languages.
Yeah, me too. And when you told me your perspective and idea about this song and how you see it, like emotion-wise, I imagined myself being some kind of witch. A witch that it's not necessarily like a bad, dark magic type of witch, but a witch that can still do magic and spells and have some like enchanting little like tricks. And I wanted to sound like one and feel like one when when you hear me in the song. That was the goal that was what I was going for. And very importantly, I speak about, especially in the, this is probably my favorite chorus in the entire album. Seriously, probably the most, like I can sing it with eyes closed and remember the words with eyes closed. But this chorus where I'm saying that in the night when you're laying in bed, that's when all the thoughts overwhelm your head, right? So I've suffered from insomnia and I wrote about it as well with the previous album with the song 910. But I felt on my own body, on my own brain, on my own skin, how scary the night can be when it's just you are alone. I was living alone at the time as well when I was going through that. So you sleep alone in your bed. It feels very cold and feels very frightening because it's just you and your thoughts. And that's it. And
it's the best part of it.
Correct.
I like it.
Correct. But if you do not learn to control your fears, if you do not learn to understand them and understand where they come from and how to shut them down in certain moments, it's very, very difficult life you're gonna have.
Yeah, of course.
Very. So that's why I wanted to because fear is the answer for many things.
Yeah, of course.
Many things.
Mm-hmm.
People start wars because they are afraid of something. People start fights because they're afraid of something. People don't live their life fully because they are afraid of it. They are afraid of everything.
Yeah, afraid of stepping out of comfort zone.
Absolutely, and I am guilty of that myself. I try to control my fears, think about them, understand them, where they come from, and try to control them. You can't get rid of them fully. Maybe eventually when you become a superhuman you can, but I'm doing my research. I like to read non-fiction books about it and try to apply certain exercises mentally and help myself with that.
Yeah. Yes. I wish we could have some. Maybe we should start crowdfunding or something to feel more.
Yeah,
and invest more in the videos.
But you have to tell everybody about the last electronic outro on the album. Some of our fans know this song before the album came out because we used it as an intro to our shows.
Yeah, we use it now, and
we used it before as well, before the album came out.
But we already put together the album. It
we
wasn't
did,
released.
but no one else knew. Yeah.
And we started every show from 23 and until now with this song, and but intro is a little bit modified because we took off the drums because it was a little bit too heavy for the intro, and the original I really like this. I composed this piece a long time ago when we were doing The Devil's Dozen, and I had a few tracks that I was writing for the documentary, so background music and stuff like that. So in fact we used this on The Devil's Dozen documentary. It's there.
That's
so
why I know that we have the song for longer than that. Yeah, that's why I know. Okay, but still we did start shows with it before the album came out.
So this was always there, and it was a pity that we used it only for The Devil's Dozen, and this documentary is nowhere anymore. It's not on the DVD or anything. No. We are not planning to release it, and it's a pity to lose these songs that we use there.
Yeah.
And this was one of the songs, and I'm so happy when I came back to this folder with these songs. Like, no, fuck, this is the perfect ending of the album called Time.
Yes, I agree. I agree. And the name for that song also was created by Vidik. I have no lyrics in that song.
Yeah, yeah.
So Vidik gave it a name as well.
1,000 years.
Yeah, a second or 1,000 years. We hope you guys discovered certain new layers to this album. We hope that maybe you can relate to certain songs and certain emotions now that you know what is behind each song. And we hope that you will give your time to our album once again if you already did before, and if you didn't, give your time for the first time to our sixth full-length album called Time.
And I want to say special thanks to Valentin to make this album sound the way it sounds, because we've got one of the best sounds out there, and I'm so happy that we have this super talented
producer.
Yeah, and part of our family that does.
He is. We know each other forever now, so he feels like
good sound, and he's always learning, always finds something new. Every time we work on different songs, different albums, because I work with him or with also
other
my projects, and Lena works with her projects or with him, and every time we work on something, he has something new to say and apply his new knowledge in the new albums, and I'm so happy that we have
absolutely another. And don't get me wrong, we all have our own visions when it comes to songs, and we often have certain disagreements.
Sometimes we argue.
Yeah,
of course.
So certain disagreements about a piece in a song, or a sound in a song, or an actual, like, even lyrics, you know, all of us together. But Valentin, he became like part of our band now. We did 6 full-length albums with him. I did incredible amount of featurings with him, and another album with a side project that I was part of.
And Seas on the Moon. Which is his personal band.
His band, Seas on the Moon, is an instrumental band that has different vocalists for different songs, and I had the opportunity to be on many songs on Seas on the Moon. I hope many more to come. It's a lot of fun. We definitely created a lot together, and who's snoring? Are you snoring? Come here. Oh, hello. And I consider Valentin being not only, our producer, but a dear friend. We know each other since we met when we were just discussing to record our first album, Asylum, 2011, I believe. Asylum?
Yeah.
Something like that.
11 for sure.
It's been 13 years since we know each other. I mean, you know him before, because he is a guitar player. He was a guitar player of a band, local band.
Yeah.
I just didn't know him.
It was Seas on the Moon back then. It was just different kind of music.
Wasn't it another band as well before Seas on the Moon?
He played somewhere, but I remember being a kid, and one of the first shows ever.
Really?
It was Seas on the Moon, and
interesting.
Eugene was on the drums already. I was like, wow. I was a kid, and Eugene is 1 year older than me, and he was already on stage.
Yeah.
And Valentino, they played super heavy music
back then.
Yeah, or at least I remember it like this.
Yeah. No, it's awesome. It's really cool. We are very grateful for how the album turned out. We are very grateful for how you received the album. Very grateful. It beyond any expectations.
Yeah.
For sure. And
we felt it like this. I didn't have expectations. I knew that I'm super happy with the album before it was released, and I was feeling like it doesn't matter how people will receive it. I feel that I did everything possible.
I love this album from the very beginning, with song Dying Light being the first, because of this new era that Infected Rain started. New eras. We in a way started over a little bit. For us, it was very challenging to have the lineup change. It was something that we didn't go through very easily, and emotionally it was quite heavy for us to part with 2 band members that were with us for 13 years, give or take. But life happens, and we decided to move on, not to give up on music, even though a big part of the band was not part of the band anymore. And we continued, and I'm so happy we did. It's almost like we had a new breath of air, and we had so much to talk about. And
yeah, we still do. I can't wait to start.
yeah, the other day, literally, he's like, we need to slowly compose new songs.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I can't
okay.
wait. I really can't wait.
We just released this one. But you know what? The thing is, there's a lot of time between when we compose the music and when the music is actually released, because we work with such a big team now that everything has to be coordinated with everybody, and everybody's trying to do such a great job. So Infected Rain has its own little spot, its own little time, its own little opportunity for the people to listen. They study what other bands are releasing, what they are releasing, and when, so it doesn't overlap. It's quite interesting. The job everybody else is doing is just as important, and we are very grateful for our record label, Napalm Records. We are very grateful for our management company, Oracle Management. We are very grateful for our booking agent, Napalm Events. We are very grateful for every single one that has believed in us so far. Many thought we wouldn't survive, given the circumstances and where the band started. We had a lot of challenges where probably many bands would have not survived, but we are too stubborn, right?
Yeah.
We are too stubborn.
Yes.
I think it's a good way to end this.
Yeah. I think the best way, if you want to support us or show your love, you can order this album online. In
Any platforms, really.
Or you give it another spin on streaming platforms.
Or physical, whatever it is that you prefer. Give it another swirl.
Yeah. Or just press like and subscribe.
Yeah. Thank you so much for all the love that you've been giving to Infected Rain so far. We owe it all to you guys, for sure. Thank you.
Reality.
Thank you. Look at that.
Thank you.
Only what? Almost 3 hours.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
I have a secret in my pocket. I'm gonna tell you a secret. We did not plan this, so it took us forever.
Okay.
All right.